Good afternoon, Standard 8 students. Now, according to what I explained in the previous lesson, Ode to Autumn by John Keats. So, according to the first stanza, we come to know that with the help of the sun, the autumn season has ripened or has grown the fruits, flowers, vegetables in abundance. So the autumn season signifies abundance, plentiful, bounty. Okay. So now when there is so much in plentiful, so now when we come to the second stanza, now what are we supposed to do with those bountiful fruits and vegetables? So the second stanzas, now the poet himself is asking us a question. Now that question is, who had not seen thee of amid thy store? Now during the autumn season, when one visits the countryside or the farms, what do they usually see? What is it that they observe? So this observation or this scene which one experiences is like this. First, they would see a stack or a store of grains, and there is a girl sitting down over there. Okay, because she is there to winnow or to remove the grains from the chaff or from the husk. Now that is done with the help of the wind. So here it is observed that there is a store of grains and a girl sitting down and removing the grain from the husk or from the chaff. Okay. And like the chaff blows with the help of the force of the wind or the way the person is shaking it, it appears as if even the beautiful hair of the girl blows along or moves along with the wind. So here the poet is signifying that a stack or a store of grains are there, a heap, and what work has to be done is to remove the grains from the husk or from the chaff. So that is what the autumn season makes one to do. Okay. Or on a half-reaped furrow, sound asleep, drowsed with the fume of poppies, while thy hook spheres the next swamp, and all is twined flowers. So next, what scene do you observe is the farmers ploughing the fields. And while they are ploughing the fields, what do we see is that these farmers, before they could complete the task or complete the ploughing, they are found half asleep or they are drowsy. And this drowsiness comes from the poppies, from poppy seeds, which is grown at the side of the fields. So the fume, the smell, the aroma coming from the poppy plants gives an intoxicating effect. It is a kind of a drug. Okay. Now this intoxicating affect them so badly that while they are doing their work, they are falling asleep. And from these poppy seeds, opium is extracted, which is a kind of an intoxicating drugs. Many people have got an addiction to this. So it is not it's not a good thing that one should be addicted to this opium. But this is what the autumn season signifies. Now, when you go to the farm, you will find certain people are doing certain kind of work. Like the girls are busy separating the husk, the grains from the chaff and the husk. Okay. Now the farmers who that are plowing, they are falling asleep. And there's so much of work to do. Abundance in fruits and vegetables and flowers and crops demands work in abundance as well. So now when they're cutting the crops and they're tying it in bundles, okay, when they're tying it in bundles, they're keeping it in a row. Now these farmers, they work in a very systematic manner and they keep stacking it either in rows. Rows means ROW in one particular line. Okay. So that is the kind of work that is being done. Then the bundles that they tie together, and remember the apples. In the first stanza, we learned that there were abundance of yields where the apples are concerned. The weight was so much that the branches were also bending down. And that is how it talks about the autumn season is a season of abundance, plentiful, bountiful. Okay. But along with that, hard work is also required. So now these people are laborious. They are hard working, the farmers. So now what they do is now they have to carry that heavy load and either go to the market or go to the town or go to the factory. And because of the weight that they are carrying, their steps, their walk is very unsteady. And then they have to be very careful when they are walking and passing through a small stream, a brook, which is here, the word brook is mentioned in this poetry. But what it means, it is a small stream or a nala. So they have to cross. So you can imagine a village scene, a small nala or a stream passing through them, and then these people carrying the heavy loads on their head, and unsteadily they're walking towards the factories or walking towards the town. And then the apples are taken to the cider press. Now, the cider press is a place where they extract the juice from the apples. And then you are very patiently observing the juice to the last drop. So now the poet is making you imagine these things. So he has personified you or the autumn season as a girl, a woman who is removing the grains from the chaff or from the husk. Then they have been personified as farmers plowing and falling asleep. Then the people carrying those heavy bundles and going to the factory. And the fourth one is dealing with very patiently you look. Means as long as the autumn season is there, the juice from the apples will be extracted. And you watch till the juice oozes out, sprouts out, or comes out with a force. So the second stanza is dealing with abundance of work, work that is demanded by the autumn season. And it is true, farmers do work very hard, and that is why we are able to survive because of the hard work performed by these farmers. I shall keep it till here, and then in the next class I will describe or teach you the third stanza, and then we shall compile all the three and see what the autumn season is all about. Thank you.